Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nick and Sergio's Fun Watch List. I am Nick.
I'm Sergio from Oaxaca.
Yes, live from Oaxaca. Not that the viewers would know, because obviously they're looking at the screen right now, and because of my amazing special effects skills, my amazing editing skills, we're looking. It might be mirrored. I'm not sure. We might be looking the wrong way, but we look like we're just sitting in our normal office where we normally record this. Great. Doesn't it look good?
It looks great. You did a really good job.
Thank you. And Marvel, now that the actor strike is over, I'm very willing to come in and do some of your special effects. I know you have a lot of CGI. I can come in there and do some of that stuff. It'll look this good, I
That's
promise
your
you.
resume. Yes.
Yep. How is Oaxaca so far, my baby? I miss you.
I miss you too. Oaxaca is incredible. I've been having a great time connecting with people, trying to do some workshops. Overall, great.
Well, I was a little sad that we didn't get to watch this episode together because you left Tuesday morning.
I left a day off the episode.
Yeah. So I was actually so sad that I didn't get to watch it with you that I actually just watched it. I watched it this morning. I was putting it off because I knew it wouldn't be as special watching it without you.
Mm-mm.
And also you spoiled the winner for me. So I was like, I'm not in a hurry.
Can we please talk about this? Okay, let's get into the episode.
Let's get into the episode. Johnny Carmona comes in, as always. He's wearing a corset that is repurposed from an original La Mas Draga t-shirt, which I thought was very
I actually
cool.
find this outfit very cute.
Yeah, this is adorable. He announces that the main challenge of the week will be La Mas Divina Infanta. The Divina Infanta is like the version of Guadalupe when she was young, when she was a baby. Is that right?
There are like a couple of different babies that are praised, like people praise for to or
Sure.
for, so it's, I don't know if it's the Virgin Mary, but I know there's a couple. El Santo Niño de Atocha is one of them, but they're like little babies. That's why I found
Oh, so it's like Muppet Babies, but for like the saints.
yes, exactly.
Okay, great.
And they're all like kind of sleeping or like sitting in their little chair doing like movements.
Do you think that Miss Piggy is Mary?
Miss Piggy is Virgin Mary. They're completely the opposite.
Oh, okay. Well, who is going to be the Virgin Mary of the cast of Muppet Babies? That's what I'm asking.
The Muppet Babies. I thought you meant like as an adult. I was like, she's definitely not a saint.
Yo, I never fucked Wayne, I never fucked Drake.
I guess you don't know the Muppet Babies well enough, but I can say that obviously Arias is Gonzo, Juana is Fozzie Bear, and Kermit the Frog. That's got to be. Ooh, who is Kermit? Johnny Carmona is Kermit.
Wahlburgers.
No, actually, no. That's better. Electra is obviously Kermit because she's green and she's got skinny arms.
And she's in the top somehow.
Don't start with my girl. I love Electra so much, and I feel very vindicated as someone who noticed her talent in the audition process. When certain people in this room were doubting her, I believed her.
Who's in this room? Because I'm not.
We are in the same room, babe. I need you to remember this. We're sitting right next to each other. Alexis Tres X LA enters, and she's a cow. She is
Bitch,
a cow.
I'm a cow. She looks amazing.
She looks so good. This is cute. It's camp, but it's also fashion. I love it. And she announces that there will indeed be a chiquireto this week. And the chiquireto is going to be called Dragas in Campaña. So it's like the queens doing campaign songs.
I was a little bit like, oh, this could be an interesting like mini challenge, because I was like, oh, it's like they need a campaign, so they're gonna make a funny video. I was like,
Yeah.
they're gonna make like a parody of a campaign, and then they turned it into a song, and I was like, wait, no, but this doesn't. It's like, no, that doesn't really make sense. And then it was live, and then even worse.
Do politicians do banda style songs in
Not
Mexico?
that I know of, but maybe they do. I don't know.
Maybe they did in the olden days, in the radio days.
No, I just remember like clearly in Mexico, I remember seeing like the political videos, and it's like people walking around pretending that they're friends with like poor people, like people in need, and they're like best friends and hanging out. It's like there's so much potential for a parody of that.
I mean, that's pretty similar to American campaign videos, right? Like, I'm going to go to a small farm town and hug a poor person.
In America, they're like, will trash the opponent, and they'll like dig dirt up and be like, paid by blah, blah, blah.
That's true. I just want to say your headphones are very cool, and when you move because of the zoom blur, it looks like you have like magic around your ears. It's kind of cool. I mean, we're
I
sitting
know.
in the same room together. I don't
If
see that.
I would have to do this.
We have some very special guests in order to help them with their campaign songs. It's a quartet of stand-up comedians called Stand Up Paris, and they identify as a anti-fascist comedy group, which I love. This actually reminded me of a lot of the cool feminist comedians I did comedy with in Portland. I think this group would be right at home in Portland. They would fit right in.
I think this would be right at home, yes. And I really loved, and I wish they would have showed us a little bit of their stand-up because I was very curious.
Yeah, they didn't get to be funny. They just got to kind of advise our girls like what they were gonna do their campaign songs about. We get a short little workroom where they're sort of pairing off with the stand-uperas and getting advice from them. And we get some of their backstories. We won't go into all of them, but right away I'm noticing Dimitra seems worried and a little under the weather maybe.
Yeah, I feel like from the beginning of the episode, you saw her with, the sunglasses, and I was like, why does she look beat down? It's like kind of insane. I was like, don't give up, girl. You're so close.
Don't give up. She seemed very down in the confessionals, and I sort of...
She seemed like she knew that it was her episode to go. I think she knew.
Yeah, well, I think we've been talking about how the judges are undervaluing some of the very cool things Dimitra has done on the runway. So I sort of don't blame her for being like, oh, I'm probably not going to win. They're probably going to send me home today no matter what I do.
I feel like somehow, this was a great season. It started as an amazing season, but I feel like, I don't know if it's me, but I feel like this is the season that I've noticed the most production. The producers kind of moving strings around to get a winner, and is it me, or do you see that as well?
Yeah, I agree. It's a little hard not to notice it with some of the placements. It seems a little calculated sometimes. At the same time, I'm still enjoying the seasons, and there's never been anything so egregious like, oh, she should have definitely made it to the top and they sent her home. I haven't experienced anything quite like that yet, so I'm trying to be forgiving with it.
Okay.
So let's just talk about the top three for this mini challenge, because when they said there was going to be a top three, and each of the three were going to get bonus points on the runway for first, second,
it's
and
basically
third.
the top three of the season already. So it's like
Kind of, yeah.
a little bit insane.
But I have to agree, like, when I heard that they were going to do a top three, this was immediately the three girls that came to my mind. And we have Arias just dominating, adapting to every situation she's in. I loved this character. I think she fully realized the potential of the challenge in a way that none of the other girls really did.
Correct. I agree.
And second place, we had Juana Guadalupe, who I really liked her message. I think that elevated her, and I think she worked really well with the banda
because
style
her
music.
singing was not. She was yelling. She was screaming out.
You can kind of yell in banda, right? Also, Juana during her song was very funny to point out that these musicians that they hired to play live with them clearly did not know what they were getting into.
All of them were so in shock, and honestly, I lived for it because I'm like, yes, we need to make men uncomfortable.
I agree.
That is literally what needs to be happening. And also, I'm like, I have to say I love this mini challenge because every time there's some type of challenge that needs to call something out in terms of a protest, I am there for it. So I have to say that this was a really nice challenge, or a really cool challenge for me to see. It was messy, but it was great.
Drag is inherently political, and more so than ever, it is like in the center of politics worldwide. So I like when we sometimes just like, we don't push that connection aside, we embrace it, and we do something fun with it. And back to the winners of this particular challenge, Catriona comes in third. And I thought this made a lot of sense because she started out as kind of like a conservative woman character, which I got right away. I don't know which politician she was parodying, but I just got the vibe. And then by the middle of it, she transforms into like this gay rainbow boa pride, person. And I liked the story that told. There was a beginning, middle, and end.
Yes, she had a storyline through it, and I think that was strong. I think I agree with the placement of the three of them. I think that if an honorable mention, I think I would give it to Kylie's.
Oh, well, you love Kylie, so a little
Yeah.
bias there maybe. But I did like her. She always is doing her kind of like awkward on stage thing, and I thought this was a fun union of that because she was in on the joke with herself. She was having fun up there, and she looked very, very cute.
Yes.
I did an ironic she was having fun up there. I didn't even mean to say that.
She was having fun out there. You know who was having fun out there? Electra.
Electra
She
was
was.
having fun up there. That was something, wasn't it?
That was something.
So the girls who did not get these bonus points are worried because these girls who ended up with the bonus points are already
They got
like
so
front
many
runners.
points, and they're
They
already
got
front
so many
runners.
points.
So it was sort of a little bit of annoying of like, why is this necessary? Also, why are 3 top necessary? Like, it's not
I
like
liked it. I don't.
It's not like it was a great mini challenge. It's also the episode right before the semifinal. Like, why?
I'll
Why?
defend
Like,
doing
that's such a stirring the pot.
I'll defend doing a first, second, and third placement because the constraints of this mini challenge make it so it can only be so many things. So I think it's hard to say you were the very best one because they're all kind of doing the same thing.
But it doesn't even matter because in the end, when they I am not gonna curse. But it doesn't
Why?
matter because in the end, I don't know. Do I curse here?
I
don't
think
know.
you do.
But in the end, when the judges tallied up the numbers, it didn't even matter because somehow the winner had 21 points when the most you can get is 20 points. Like, what is that? Anyway.
Look, there was some precedents broken this episode, and we'll get to it later.
So it's like, then why do the mini challenge? Also, before the judges didn't know who was the one who won, and in this one it seemed like they knew who had won, and they like shuffled the numbers around.
Ooh, maybe.
So that neither of the winning girls would win.
So we go into the workroom, and this is sort of an all over the place workroom. They talk about a lot of different topics, and I think it's partially because this challenge is going back to their childhoods. And I think it's bringing up lots of different feelings for lots of different people. The topic of eating disorders comes up, and it's giving very Sasha Velour, don't joke about that energy. But in a good, constructive way. I think this is a common issue in the queer community, so I like that it's coming up. Juana talks about being shamed for her body, for being larger. And Catriona talks about the expectations of being a ballerina. I can't even imagine because your body is your tool when that is your profession.
It's the cigarettes and coffee. That's the ballerina diet.
Yeah. And we joke, please don't have that be your diet, but that is what people do. Take care of yourself. Arias talks about how when she was young, she found out that her biological father was not the person who was raising her. And this explained a lot of the distance that she felt between her and her mother because she resembled the man that broke her heart. This was like a very fascinating piece of her backstory. Arias shared quite a lot this week because also in the workroom earlier, she talked about working with kids and she had some horrifying stories of how politicians aren't actually helping kids. They're just using them as a pawn in their political game. So I like that she brought that up because that's everywhere right now. And then Electra, this was quite the surprise to me. She mentions that she grew up Jehovah's Witness. So we're just getting like lore drops on everyone.
Your favorite one was a Jehovah's Witness.
A former Jehovah's Witness, yes.
It's like Utica.
Like Utica. Well, that's Seventh-day Adventist, which I think is pretty similar. I don't know. I don't really care for Jehovah's Witnesses because they tear families apart. But apparently,
Obviously.
apparently Electra has managed to find some peace with her family who is still in the church. So that's always like a nice silver lining when queer people can find some sort of commonality with their family who might not be fully understanding. So good for her, I suppose. And after so much just like backstory and all that, we go over to the runway. Very exciting runway. We've got Marisol coming out, and everyone decided to be naked this week. I was pretty happy about it. Marisol is just wearing... Everyone is wearing almost nothing. Marisol is basically wearing a caftan, a sheer caftan over a bikini. And it's got this kind of beaded thing that goes over the head. Did you like this?
No.
Why not? I thought it was kind of
I
cool.
don't know. I like looked at it and I was looking at the episode and then I was remembering of everything she's worn. I'm like, she needs a little bit more styling details to make it perfect. She was pretty though. I think because once you're sitting down, it's from basically the waist up. She looked good.
Yeah.
So I have to say she looked good at the end.
Speaking of looking fabulous, we go over to Raquel Martinez, and she, like we said, is wearing almost nothing. This is a tiny little
she's
dress.
always just wearing nothing.
Well, great. I mean, if I look like that, I would be naked all the time. She's got this cute little
Me too.
shiny palet dress, this little cocktail dress with the cutout in the middle. It's very sexy, very fun. We go over to Yari Mejia, quite naked as well, wearing a dress made out of the letters of her name. And she jokes that she's kind of giving like an Eddie Munster haircut, and I thought that was pretty cute.
She joked about it a lot of things like that, and also Peso Pluma, and like a vampire. I was like, yes, everything makes sense.
Yeah, all of these disparate looks came together to make this awesome Yari Mejia look. And then we go over to Leitao, and ooh boy, wow, what a Medusa over here. You didn't like it? She's made out of snakes.
Favorite. There's no proportions. I don't like it.
She's made out of snakes, babe.
She just looks like a snake.
She is a snake. She's a Medusa lady.
Yeah. This is just my least favorite outfit from the season of hers.
Oh my god, savage today, Sergio.
I know, it's just being real. Well, I just feel like now I'm in Mexico, so I feel like being here allows me to be a little bit more discerning and critique her a little more, or everybody.
Wow. Well, your neighbors now. She's just right up the street, right?
Yeah, she's an airplane away because driving is too far.
And then we go over to our very special guest judge of the week, who I hadn't heard of before, but wow, she's got a lot of personality. She's got big old boobs. And her name is Kareli Ruiz, and wow. She got the memo. She decided to be naked as well.
She decided to be naked as well. Also, I mean, she's an OnlyFans model.
Yes.
Actor,
Apparently,
and
they say that she's the most popular OnlyFans model in Mexico. I'm not sure which metric they're going by, but
I believe it. Meaning she's very probably world known.
wow, yeah. And I get it. She is not only gorgeous, but she has a lot of personality. I love how she didn't even wait for her intro. She like waved into the shot.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was so cute.
That shot. I was like, oh, she knows. Also, it's so funny. Again, we have another guest judge who's like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
I don't know what's happening, but this is fun.
Yeah.
Very Familia Peluche mom. What was her name?
Yeah. Consuelo de Val. I feel like we've been getting a lot of them. I feel like this season probably, in order to get famous people, they had to lie to them and be like, oh, you're just going to this little thing.
Do you think that's how they got the banda performers, those 4 men?
Same way, because their reactions were insane.
The one thing I want to say before we go into the runway, Marisol has always been doing these little like shakes before she does like a little shake and a little hand motion. I feel like she's been adding to it as the season has gone by, and this one, it just kind of lingered for a long time, and it looked like she was doing a Doctor Strange spell.
Although I have to say I really like it because this is the most comfortable she's been the entire season. Like, episode 1, if you see her, like she's just like out of place.
Yeah, her energy on stage has gotten very natural. I think she's really settled into this host role. It's almost a shame. I like that they do it, but it's a shame that they do it this way where by the end of the season, the host has gotten really, really good, and then they'll never be the host again.
That's why it's not good about it.
I mean, I like it. I think it's a fun way to make the show.
They should do that with the judges. Like, change the judges.
No. Listen, leave Yadi there. I need her. She's my
even
consistency.
her. She's let me down.
You were coming for the judges today.
I am.
Okay, well, we go into the runway. It's La Mas Divina Infanta. First out, we have Catriona, and wow, what an entrance. This was flawless.
I feel like she was meant to be the winner of this episode. I
am inclined to agree.
I don't know why really that didn't happen. She had the storyline for it. She talked about how her family makes this type of artwork or this type of pieces together. Like, they actually build them. I'm like, this was her challenge to win. Like, I because last episode I didn't, or whichever one she won, I didn't really agree. But this one I do agree that she should have won this one.
She should have won. I think they're doing that thing that happens with the Oscars sometimes where they're like, oh, you should have won last year. So even
Like
though
at
this
the
movie's
end,
not that good, you're going to win this
I
year.
think that's what they're doing. I feel like they're realizing like, oh, we gave a lot of like light to Arias and Juana that now we have to like find these other two girls, and so we're gonna do random wins to
We've
like
got to
show
like
that
build
they're
up their
strong.
characters so that people are excited for them to be in the finale.
Yes, but
I
don't
think we
it's
have the
working.
clearest top 4 of any La Mas
Yes.
Draga season. Like
Yes.
there's no way it's not going to be Catriona, Electra, Juana, Arias. There's no way, right? There's no way.
There's no way. There's no way.
Zero chance. Unless someone decides to
Zero.
pull a Santa Lucia and like I'm out, and then like Kylie sits
Yeah.
in there somehow. But anyway, back to this runway. This runway was very impressive,
I mean, she looks beautiful.
and I love
She
that
was
the cat moved.
she had the same bed as Frida Kahlo,
As Kelly.
Kelly's Frida Kahlo look. That was very funny.
I
was
did
like,
think
this
it
is
was
much
that.
better.
It is a much nicer bed. But you didn't think it was cool that the cat moved on its own?
I didn't notice the cat moving. I think when I was
had to
first
rewind
watching
it.
I like I thought I saw it moving, but I was like, oh, it fell, and I was like, oh no, it fell, and then I realized when they said it was moving, I was like, oh shit, no, it was moving.
Well, I noticed that it looked really dead when she like put it down in the corner. I was like, that was like a
Yes.
very dead cat. And then she goes and sleeps. And I don't know how she timed it this way. She gets up at the exact same time as the cat. And that was one of the most
Oh, that I
impressive
did not
things.
notice. That I
really
didn't
cool.
notice that.
It was very cool. I liked it. Catriona, I'm so glad she's having this comeback late in the
It
season.
was her win. This was her win. I'm sorry.
I agree. Kelly comes out next, and I was just begging Kelly, please, please, just give me one of your big, fun showgirl looks. And I actually think that she did that this week. I think she
did.
was...
She looked gorgeous. She looked beautiful.
I do think she was rightfully criticized for not having much of a story. I guess the story was I look exactly like this little doll, which was cool. She
And
did
she
look
had
just
the
like
doll.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the storyline wise, she didn't really have anything going. So I do have to say that even though she was gorgeous, it's like less than safe. Below safe.
Oh, I think this was totally safe. I think if there was a bit of a story, it could have been a top-worthy look. I especially appreciated those big-ass heels. She's wearing like 6-inch heels under there.
Which I didn't like. I didn't like her wearing those heels. It didn't really make sense because her dress then was like,
She's
so
floating. They're clear
like-
heels. It looks like she's floating. You don't like
No,
it?
I don't like it.
Oh my god. Kelly, I love you.
'Cause
So
also
don't
her
worry.
little
We
things
know
were,
you're
like,
watching right now.
falling,
I
her
love
little
you.
wires.
Don't listen to Sergio. You're great.
You're saying like if I don't love her.
We love all of these girls, obviously, and just our once a season reminder that all of these girls are so much more talented than any of us.
Of course.
Speaking of more talented than either of us, La Kylie's comes out next, and she looks so pretty, so
She's
ethereal.
So gorgeous.
She's kind of giving old Hollywood on this bed as they're rolling her out, just with this flowy robe.
And she does her hand movements. I loved it. That was
The hand
amazing.
movements
That
were
was
very
so
cute.
good. I feel like they put her in the bottom just to use her lipstick because they didn't want
They had to get rid of
the
it.
next episode because it didn't matter then.
Yeah, she couldn't have used it next week. So I think they were like, we went through all the trouble of setting up this lipstick as a storyline. We kind of need to make her use it.
Yeah. So I didn't think she was. Did you think she was in the bottom?
It's just hard because everyone was really good this week. I think the justifications for putting her in the bottom are that she was kind of like shaky, like getting off that rolly thing. And I agree with that. It took me out of the moment because every other moment when she was hitting her poses, it was great.
But because okay, fair, whatever. I'm blinded. I'm blinded.
I'm blinded by her radiance as well. She's gorgeous. Do you agree? Because Raquel really went in on the tripping this week because we have a couple girls trip and stumble. And she was like,
I
it's
agree.
just-
I agree
It
on the
makes you look
tripping.
unprofessional. Do you think that's
It does.
fair?
It does. That is fair. But like Kelly's didn't trip.
I'm curious, like, we don't see this much tripping on Drag Race or on Dragula.
Because they edit it.
I think
They edit it
out.
unless they want to send the girl home. That's why they do the
Exactly.
runway twice. Because they'll show whichever
that's true.
one makes sense. This is what the power of a good really production is. Like you do the runway 2 times. If you think the girl is gonna be in the top, you don't air it. You don't air her tripping. It's just the reality of TV.
Yeah, Pheromone famously on All Stars 5 only fell one time in the 2 performances, and they used the one where she fell because it was better TV. And I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing about Drag Race versus this. Like, Drag Race at least will edit like every single thing in order for you to believe that someone's in the bottom, as opposed to this where you see that they shouldn't be in the bottom and somehow they're in the bottom. It's like, it's just not well edited to tell us the story.
I think the story producing just is strongest on Drag Race. I think other than budget, they have that in their favor. But I think these other shows, they try and do the same kind of tricks as far as like justifying people being in the bottom, and it doesn't always read quite as authentic.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about Drag Race. Let's get back to the show that we love unequivocally. Arias comes out next. And this one, it's not my favorite Arias look, but there's lots of creativity in it.
I think he had a strong story.
Yes, very strong story. I like that when she initially came out, her little hands are just sticking out of these little holes. Like, clearly that's the only way this outfit is made to be worn. And she does this reveal. She removes her headpiece and her veil. And underneath, she's wearing a bald cap that has, like, maricon and other slurs written on it. I really like both of the looks. There was some critiquing of the bald cap being too loose, and I see that in the back, but I think in the front it looked really good.
And the front looked good on camera. I didn't really notice. I think that the only thing is almost tripping, but she didn't really fully trip. Like, no one has actually fully, like, hit the floor.
They played a little sound when she tripped. But the thing is...
And I didn't notice. The thing is, I didn't notice.
I didn't notice either. Because she was doing the reveal still, and she was kind of stumbling because of the character she was doing. I'm not even convinced it was a trip.
I'm not convinced it was a trip either. I was like, they have to use a sound in order for us to think that she, that's her producing again. Like, it's like, what? That doesn't work.
Sergio, you should fall over and I'll insert a tripping sound right now. Good job, baby. That was very convincing. Yeah, and we have some nice theatrics with the crying. Venenito brings her like a veil to dab her tears.
I just feel like they know how strong she is, that they're having to put her down to our eyes to be like, oh, there's other queens who can win this, not just her.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I think that's what they're doing. That's what the storyline is going toward for her.
Yeah, and we have seen edits like this both on La Mas Draga and other drag competitions where someone starts off really strong and then in the back half maybe they're not quite as consistent.
But then they win the last episode, so she's gonna win the semifinal episode.
Yeah, and then that'll set her up to be the front runner for the finale. But as we've discussed, surprises happen at these finales. Just because she's going in with the most wins. I kind of want Wano to win too. Well, I would also be happy if Electra won because she's my girl. I'm on the mountain. Speaking of Wano, she is out next. And this outfit is absolutely incredible. The construction.
Stunning. She could have won too.
The execution of this is out of this world. I think the only reason she didn't win is because her story was very simple. But I think just having the shoulder pad that is a pillow,
like her,
it was so funny.
To the pillow was so funny. And the shape, like every time I see Juana, like she knows her shape. She knows how to play with shifting everything. This was an incredible look. It was so simple, but yet so striking and so well put together.
I think another designer would have tried this silhouette and failed, but this just looks absolutely awesome. I think this is so cool.
With the pillows as shoulder pads, like that's insane. That's insane. And the fact that she makes all of her own outfits. Yeah, like that is insane.
So many girls who win these drag competitions do not make their own clothes. I think that was what was exciting about seeing Raja O'Hara win Canada versus the World is like, oh, she makes everything she wears. And I think that would be a very exciting story for Juana Guadalupe to come in and be like, hey, it doesn't matter. I'm not worried about my designers. My designers didn't screw up my look because I am my designer. I made all this shit. I brought it in myself. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And she brings it funny.
She makes it funny. Her personality, she's so joyful on stage. It's just like really
radiant. Yes.
Very radiant, fully. Dimitra comes out next, and she looks so sad with this makeup. Stunning makeup.
Wow. Her makeup is amazing. I was like, wow, the detailing of it, yeah. Just the way she played with her shape, the proportions of her eyes, with her mouth, with her hair. Like, it was great. I think there's something about it, though, that I was like, something is weird. I don't know what it was. Or I think I didn't really see her.
With the garment or with the whole presentation?
With the whole presentation. Like, I don't think I saw her.
you can tell that she's a little checked out even behind the sad makeup. Like, she just doesn't feel fully there. And again, don't blame her. I think the highlight of this runway was the spray painting section, and the main issue
That was
is,
amazing.
as they said, we've seen that a few times this season.
I know, but when she had the reveal of the entire back already being,
that was cool.
Like, I think this is the best done one so far. Because every time everyone like they do it, it's so like small.
Also, the Toxico had a LA Dodgers hat on, which I just thought was funny for some reason.
That's so funny. I missed that.
It's pretty funny. I laughed at that.
But I feel like out of all of the spray painting, this has been the one that's made the most sense or that's worked this season. I feel like, there's other seasons that made it work better. But I don't know. I don't agree with like, oh, you keep doing the same thing. It's like,
I don't think that's
what?
true for her. She was the
That's
bat lady
kinda-
1 week.
But that's what they told Kelly. They told that to her. Like, you keep doing the same thing. They told that in a way to Dimitra of like, we've seen this before. It's meaning everyone's doing the same thing. And it's like, that's why whenever they went to Electra, this is why I don't agree with Electra's win. Because I'm like, she did everything she always does. She has a green face. She sticks her tongue out.
Sure.
Like the farthest out she can. It's like, I don't know.
Well, let's talk about it because Electra is next to the runway. She comes out.
Okay, can I just start? Because
Sure.
there's no shape and there's no proportions to her outfit. Like literally,
What are you
it's
talking
flat.
about?
Like
No,
there's
the colors are creating a silhouette.
There's no
because
dimensions. There's no
the
dimensions.
back is
They're
pink
not
and the front
reading.
is blue, and it's creating an hourglass. It does work.
It doesn't work. There's also so much like I feel like we see.
It's very busy.
Her, and she loves gold and silver, but it's like sometimes it's clashing, and then the pink with the blue, it's clashing. Like it was just so much clashing that was happening for me. For me, it was messy. Yes, I understand the fun joke of the reptilians taking over, or like everyone's secretly a reptilian in the Vatican, whatever. I don't know.
You didn't like the Illuminati headpiece? Did you not see that the headpiece had little Illuminati eyes on it? I thought that was so funny.
No, because there's so much shit happening. Like there's so much.
It's drag. I
happening,
want
like,
something from head to toe. I want to be able to look anywhere on your body and be interested and entertained. And I thought
I mean,
that's what
that
she
is
was giving me.
literally that we saw Catriona do that. We saw Juana Guadalupe do that. Like we have all these other outfits that have that.
And also
that
she
have
did
the
it.
Details. I just feel like she put every single thing she could put on, and then she sticking her tongue out, and like, I don't think it worked. I'm sorry, I don't think it worked for me.
Look, Electra is a big Miley Cyrus fan, so every time she goes on the stage, she wants to pay tribute to Miley's tongue out era.
Listen, I think I understand it. I understand it for the storylines. They're trying to put her on the top. I get it. I think she rightfully deserved to be in the top. I agree. Well, not in the last 3 episodes though. She should have really been in the bottom.
Oh my God, you are so mean this week.
I'm sorry. I'm just expressing my honest opinion this time. This is the time that I feel like I like would want to have seen maybe Chantel more, or have to see Dimitra more, or like I don't know.
I love Chantel, but Electra has been earning it for me.
I think I like that she brings something completely different to the table that I do appreciate.
She set the book on fire.
I feel like it's the execution because she does so many things. That's
Great,
what I'm telling
it's
you.
drag.
She's just
More
adding
stuff.
everything.
Please.
No.
You're telling me you want a
No.
drag queen to do less? That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they should have a point of view that they can execute in the like most creative and efficient way to bring something to the table, like Arias. That's who I see that. Like whenever Arias does something on stage, it's always so well done. Every single movement, detail, and the clothing makes sense. For this, every single detail does not make sense. Like she could literally take off a lot of it. That's what I'm saying. That's just what I'm saying. I am not a judge. I'm not a critique. I'm just expressing my own opinion.
Well, you do have your opinions. The judges have theirs. We go over to the Mas and Menos of the week, starting as always with Raquel.
Because this is where like it doesn't add up. Like I'm sorry. I agree. If she would have won, I would have agreed if there was no mini challenge and if the judges judge fairly. This is the only episode in which the judges are like, like we've never done this where we have every single person having the same top, but somehow this episode we all are gonna have the same person at the top. That's where I was like, it just doesn't feel. I don't agree with it.
I was surprised that of all of the things Elektra has done, even this season, this is the one that they're like, oh my God, we're living.
She's had much better runways.
I agree. But maybe they're just like, hey, we haven't given you enough attention, so we're all going to give you La Mas this week because we're making up for it. I don't know. That was how I read it. It's the Oscars thing again. Martin Scorsese didn't win Best Director till The Departed, as if that's his best movie. You know, they were making up for lost time.
Okay, well, let's go jump through these tops that are all the same.
Well, they're all Elektra. So let's just talk about the bottoms. How about that?
Yes, let's do that.
La menos for Raquel is Dimitra, unfortunately. And I think it's unfortunate that she ended up doing her spray paint look last, because I think it would have been celebrated if it was the first one. Also, I forgot to mention, Alexis Tres XL is just like sitting on the side of the judging panel for this last part.
I know, which is what it makes me. It's like the judges should have found out after they judged and added the numbers who was the top of the mini challenge.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Do you think Alexis whispered it to them?
Yeah, she whispered it to them. Of course.
They have secrets. Yari's Menos is unfortunately your girl, La Kylie's, and I feel bad about it, but I think they just needed to get that lipstick out of the way.
Yeah, I would have swapped her for Elektra, but
You are such a bitch.
because Yari judges outfits, that's her thing.
And for Leital, the Menos is Arias because of the bald cap situation. And I only think it looks good in the back, but I've also never seen a bald cap not bunch up in the back. I've never seen it once
that's
not happen.
every single one of them, except Calavaros and Drag Race Mexico.
Hey, bald caps are hard. I think people should get praised when
That's
a
what
bald
I'm saying.
cap
She did a
looks
really good
halfway
job.
decent.
Calavaro did.
Calavaro did. Calavaro is very talented, as we know.
Can't wait to see her in Global All Stars.
Not that we... Do we have to bleep that? I guess we don't.
No, we don't.
It's not like
it. I want you to keep it.
I'll keep it in, sure. It's not like Galavaro told us that. It's just that's the rumor going around, is that she's going to be on Global All-Stars. And I think that's a good choice from the Mexico cast. And La Kylie's is declared to be in the bottom with Dimitra. But she's asked if she wants to use her lipstick. She, of course, chooses to do so. She says, I'm not ready to go home. I would have done the same thing.
And she picks your girl. Your girl versus my girl. This is catfight waiting to happen.
I think La Kylie's is trying to start a feud between you and me. I think that's what she's doing in this moment with this lipstick decision. Yeah, I think that's what's up. And La Kylie's needs to decide who's going to take her place in the bottom. And she decides, based on tonight's critiques, I'm going to go with Kelly. And Kelly's pretty butthurt about it, but I don't know. It's fine. She's a good lip syncer. I wasn't really worried. How did you feel about it?
I loved it.
You love that she did Kelly?
Yes. Although I feel like I would have just picked Arias.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Do you think Arias had a chance of losing? Is that why you would have put her in the bottom?
No, I just wanted her to see her lip sync.
Oh, okay.
Well, and also because I feel like Arias is the clear front runner, and they all talked about it, thinking that the judges were putting her in the top like a lot, you know, because of favoritism. So I would have put her in the bottom just to do it.
Yeah. Do you think that queens in these reality TV show situations, like the lipsticks on All Stars, are disincentivized from doing these cunning moves of putting someone in the bottom, of Manila-ing someone, for example, because of the negative backlash? Like, if
Yes.
Naomi Smalls wasn't Naomi Smalls, people would still hate her for doing that to Manila, you know?
Yes. I agree. I 100%.
Which is honestly why we should probably just remove the strategy element from these drag competitions. Like, you're the judges, you tell us who's going home. That's your job.
Which is why they did that on the All Stars.
Yep. All right, back on topic. We go into this reto de doblaje. The song is La Chapa que Vibran by La Materialista. I thought this was a pretty fun song to lip sync to. Have you heard it before?
It was a fun song to lip sync. I haven't, no. But it was very fun to watch. And I mean, Kelly wore the right outfit for this.
I know. How do you win when you're up against someone in that outfit?
There's no way.
There's no way. And I did think it was a little funny because Dimitra was fully serving Zero Suit Samus. And if you remember in the
She was
audition
serving
process,
Veracruz.
why do you think Vera Cruz?
She looked like Veracruz again.
Okay. What, in the face with the hair?
And then the bodies, I don't know, like the
And the
proportions that
bodysuit,
she
sure.
had. It was very, with the hair. So,
Very Vera Cruz, yeah. But I did think it was funny because in the audition process, one of the reasons I fell in love with Kelly is her confessional look was very Zero Suit Samus. So I thought it was funny that they ended up going up against each other in this outfit in particular. Do you know what Zero Suit Samus is?
No.
It's my Smash Bros. Main, babe. Why don't you know?
Oh, who's going to know that?
I told you before on this show.
I can't remember everything.
Okay, fair. Pretty fun lip sync. I did think it was really one-sided. Dimitra had a couple great moments, but my eyes kept going back to Kelly. She just had really good energy for this song.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the clear winner was Kelly. So
Yeah.
good for her.
Good for her. And even though it was a pretty one-sided lip sync, I didn't think Dimitra did a bad job. I thought she had a couple great moments.
She was giving a little bit more like a comedy take, like a
Yeah.
little doing some isms that I was like, okay, that's cute.
Yeah, she showed her personality a lot, and I think that's the way to go. She went out looking really pretty, and by the way, she does go home. And also, I forgot to say who won. It's Electra.
Who won?
We never said it officially.
Oh
but
yes,
Electra,
because we know.
everybody
It doesn't
knows.
need it.
It's
she has
obvious.
21 points somehow.
So to recap, Electra wins, Dimitra goes home. Pretty sad. Love Dimitra. Special shout out to that bat lady.
I was
look.
saying sad that Electra won, but also sad that Dimitra went home.
I want to shout out Dimitra's bat lady look. I thought it should have been one of Lamas for the week, and it was not. So
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
awesome, Dimitra. What's your favorite Dimitra memory?
My favorite Dimitra memory is her saying that she's not funny, but even though she was one of the funniest persons on the cast.
Yeah, she's very funny.
Like her Snatch Game was great as Betty La Fea.
Oh, she was good in La Más Famosa. She won, right?
Yes, she did. That's what the
Oh.
lipstick she used.
Oh, yeah, duh. That's where she got her lipstick. Well, R.I.P. to Dimitra. It's been real. Before we go, we'll just read, how about 2 YouTube comments? Can you do 2, Sergio?
Yes, I can do too.
Querna85 writes in, and they say, in reference to last week's episode, the Luchador episode, to me, the episode was one of the worst ones in La Más Draga history, but your review made it easier and more enjoyable to recap it. Sergio, enjoy Oaxaca.
Oh, thank you.
Do you agree with that hot
it was
take?
A bad episode. Yes, I mean it was messy episode. I wouldn't say it was bad. It was messy, and I think there was no direction. There's no storyline. There's no producing.
Hernan Ledesma comments again. This week they say, well, in the Salseo, Dimitra said that she would pick Electra, but decided to be fair. And then the drama started. We didn't watch the Salseo this week. Apparently there was drama.
I didn't watch it. No, I would have also picked Electra.
And Kelly didn't know the words to the song, is the accusation from the lip sync last week. And you were saying that they were cutting to
Wait.
Chantel Moore.
Because Kelly didn't know the song.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh wow.
Favoritism, maybe? I don't know.
That is.
Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Another gatada in this episode. I have a question for Nick. How much Spanish did you learn from watching La Más Draga? Great recap, guys. I learned Spanish in high school, and then I forgot a lot of it. And then I learned some on Duolingo. And then I would say since sort of progressing out of Duolingo Spanish, knowledge, I would say La Más Draga has been my main source of learning Spanish and becoming more comfortable listening to people speak it without having the subtitles on. It's been very helpful for me. Did you have any shows that you watched in English when you were a kid?
It was the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TV's very helpful if you want to learn a language. Early on when I was trying to learn
is.
it, I would put on like Inception or like Star Wars or something I'd seen 1,000 times, and I would just put it in Spanish, and it's like, well, I know what they're saying. So,
Mm-hmm.
And I know I said 2, but how about one more, baby? Do you have the energy? Could you do it?
Sure. I thought we already read 3, but okay.
That was 3?
Yes.
Okay, well, here's the 4th one then. Jever7988, sorry if that was not the way to pronounce your name. They say, I am really waiting for a Catriona versus Aries lip sync battle. When that happens, Arias is out. Whoa. I think they are right on both
Wow,
accounts.
hot take.
That would be an amazing lip
That's
sync.
because that's never gonna happen. That's
They're not going to let it happen because Catriona would send that bitch home. She's the only one who could
They're
do
gonna
it.
put
Probably.
Catriona and Kelly against each other.
Yes, because
next week.
Catriona needs to be the one to eliminate Kelly. I think you're right there. And then who's going to send La Kylie's home? Juana?
Arias is gonna send.
You might be right.
But
yeah.
that means that there's only one spot left because there are 5 now. Is that
Are there 5? No, there's 6.
who's the 6th one? Oh, Electra.
You keep forgetting about Electra. Just because I like her doesn't mean you can pretend she does not exist.
Well, then they're probably gonna do 2. So they're gonna do the top or 2 winners, or 2 that go to the finale, and then they're gonna do a lip sync between 4, unless they do 3.
Oh, they could do a 3-way lip sync. I would rather do the 2
They always do
lip
some
syncs.
weird things.
I would
Yes,
rather do
I'd
the 2 lip
just
syncs.
2.
3 is always messy.
And it's like last season where the semifinal, it's like it doesn't matter who lip syncs. They already know who's going to the finale either way.
Yeah. Well, I think we had a wonderful time recapping this episode, even though we're so far away from each other, by which I mean we're in the same room, obviously. I don't know which way to look. We haven't figured it out yet. But thank you so much for watching at home. Thank you for commenting. We really appreciate it, as always. Sergio, any messages from Oaxaca for the people watching at home?
I mean, any recommendations people have that I should check out?
Yeah, if you know any good Oaxaca hotspots, send them over in the comments. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Nick and Sergio's Fun Watch List. I'm Nick.
I'm Sergio.
And we'll see you next week.